Well, new footage shows the chaotic moments after a woman shoots at an employee of a mental health clinic while police were there conducting a mental health transfer in Battle Creek. Officers returned fire, hitting that woman once.
Yeah, News Channel 3's Mike Kravsik has new details and footage showing how that shooting unfolded.
Police Chief Jim Blocker says it's unusually rare for violence to break out during a situation like this. Police were called out to the Summit Point Urgent Care Facility on a court-ordered mental health pickup of a 40-year-old woman. Little did police know the woman was armed with her 2 kids inside her SUV. The crisis intervention call lasted less than 2 minutes until police say a 40-year-old woman fired the first shot.
It was an extraordinary circumstance and certainly isn't the norm.
Police say she was experiencing a mental health episode when Summit Point employees called police as she pulled up to the facility around noon yesterday.
Officers were attempting to serve a signed court order by a judge. Female was argumentative and uncooperative.
Moments later, police say she locks the doors with her children inside.
The moment that window was rolled up and the vehicle was locked, that was a hostage scenario.
As an officer tries to break the window, the woman shows her gun and fires at the mental health worker. Police say a bullet grazed her hair. Officers draw their weapons and start firing.
One of the officers yelled that there was children in the car, and the officers stopped firing. One of the car doors was open. One of the children was able to get out of
The woman tries to flee, striking a patrol car and another vehicle multiple times in the parking lot before she gets away, with the remaining child inside. Police say she was located around 15 minutes later. Chief Blocker says the woman had an unregistered weapon, which was malfunctioning. Blocker says officers fired 7 rounds in 8 seconds.
They reacted instinctively to the sound of gunfire. And then once they acknowledged and recognized and it was able to process, that there were children there, they immediately stopped.
Blocker says the woman will face charges once she's released from the hospital. He says the 2 children, ages 9 and 10, are in the custody of relatives. Michigan State Police are still investigating the officer-involved shooting. Both Battle Creek officers are on leave tonight. Standard procedure during situations like this.
Healthcare leaders sound the alarm as a record number of COVID-19 patients fill hospitals and push overworked staff to their breaking point.
Our investigative reporter Andrew Feather shows us how dire the situation is for West Michigan hospitals and what it means for the care you or a loved one might receive.
Lights flashing, sirens blaring, an ambulance approaches the emergency room at Bronson Methodist Hospital. Inside, some patients have already been waiting for hours, with beds full and staff stretched thin.
They're waiting for a long time to be seen. They may not be in a room, they may be in a hallway.
It's a scene that would usually lead to the ambulance diverting to nearby Ascension Borges Hospital, but there would run into the same situation.
There really is nowhere else for the ambulance traffic to go, so it comes anyway. And those patients are now would then just be in our ER and potentially waiting a long period of time for care.
Michigan's 4th COVID-19 surge now affecting the care every hospital in Southwest Michigan can offer, not just for COVID-19 patients, but for everyone. Spectrum Health, which serves as a transfer point for patients needing more advanced care than many small local hospitals can offer, turned down 700 of those requests in the last month and a half because they didn't have any space.
We've literally gotten these calls where it said, we need your help. We need a bigger, larger hospital, a higher level of care. And we've been so full, we have not been able to do that. Historically, we accept all of those patients.
The hospital system has also canceled more than 1,000 surgeries since the surge began, putting off necessary but non-emergency treatment. Once patients actually make it past the front desk, that's where they may feel the true impact of the crunch hospitals are in. At Bronson, officials say some patients may be seen in hallways because all rooms are full. Staff stretched beyond their usual workloads can often perform only the necessary care and nothing more.
We're asking them to do twice as much or sometimes more as they would do on an ordinary pre-COVID day. And there's just no way, given how sick people are if they need to be in the hospital, and particularly how sick COVID patients can be, that we can that we can meet every need in the way we would hope to.
Further exacerbating the problem, once patients make it into the hospital, there isn't always a place for them to go after.
It's difficult to find the space for them to rehabilitate or find the space for patients that have been severely deconditioned by the virus and to move out of the walls of the hospital in a safe way.
Rehab and post-acute facilities are seeing their own bed shortages, so some hospital rooms are occupied by people who are well enough to leave but still need professional care.
A violent attack inside a high school bathroom sends a freshman student to the hospital.
Right now, Kalamazoo Public Safety says they are looking into an assault reported at Loy Norrix High School in Kalamazoo. News Channel 3's Maria Serrano is live outside the school to let us know what a fed-up father says. And he says things have got to change, and now, Maria.
The man I spoke with says he has now filed a police report. He says his son was attacked here at Loy Norrix High School, and it's unacceptable. He says tonight he's speaking with us to make sure this doesn't ever happen to any student ever here at this high school.
He got beat up in the bathroom the first time.
An attack caught on camera inside a Loy Norrix High School bathroom. Video shows a freshman student getting shoved against a bathroom wall and punched in the face multiple times.
I talked to him. He couldn't talk. He couldn't speak. He wasn't shocked like this. He couldn't move. You can tell in his face that he's not all the way there. He's like trying to be strong.
The teen's father says watching his son be attacked is heartbreaking.
They went over the limit. It hurt.
The Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety says it's investigating an assault at Loy Norrix High School. This dad tells me he hopes charges are filed because Loy Norrix isn't taking action.
This happens all the time, over and over and over again, and they don't do nothing. It seems like they don't want nobody to know what's going on inside the school.
What do you think is going on inside the school?
Fights all the time. What are they waiting for? For somebody to end up getting killed? Or they want somebody to end up getting hurt really bad like my son?
I took his questions to Kalamazoo Public Schools. The district says it takes all matters of student safety seriously, but because it's an active investigation, it isn't commenting.
Something has to be done.
The student's father says his son is now recovering at home, but he did go to the hospital with 2 broken bones on his right hand and a cut on his lips. He says thanks to his oldest cousin, he intervened in the attack, and the father believes this is what saved his life. He said his son is not going back to school until the investigation is complete.